Hey guys, you're listening to The Financially Savvy Chick. I am Tamar. So today's video, I want to talk about how grocery store prices aren't coming down anytime soon. I'm not going to even say next year. Prices have increased this year. They've increased last year, but it's been drastically increased specifically in this year. In 2023, it's going to be even crazier. Okay. The rate of food inflation is expected to moderate, but it doesn't mean prices are going to drop. Once prices hit a certain level, they tend to stay there or go up, but rarely down. There are a number of factors that contributed to the surge in prices. Producers are saying that they're paying higher prices for labor and packaging materials. There was some extreme weather, like we did have Hurricane Ian here in Florida. And then in places like California, certain parts of Texas, and other parts of the country and the world, actually, drought, flooding, and disease have also been hurting crops, killing egg-laying hens and squeezing the supply. Even if some of these situations stabilize, it's going to take a while for those changes to reach consumers. There's a lot of uncertainty, It's not clear when the war in Ukraine will end, or whether the weather will impact crops in the future. That's one of the reasons why prices take longer to come down. Producers aren't seeing any end to inflation in terms of their labor and commodities cost. Meanwhile, demand is high. Consumers may be able to pull back on some discretionary items, but they have to eat. Some people are putting items back on the grocery shelves, and it's not because it's something that they don't want. It's rather because it's too expensive. And paying higher grocery prices may still be cheaper than dining out at restaurants, where menu prices are also rising. And many people are still working from home and consuming more of their meals there. Restaurant chains are going to be in big trouble because of the fact that they need supplies. They need eggs, vegetable oil, frying oil, peanut oil, meats, and so forth. They're also impacted. So if the restaurants aren't able to get the foods and items they need, they eventually going to have to close down their restaurants. Some people think that this is not impacting them, but it's impacting everybody. And I don't care how wealthy you are, you still going to be impacted to some extent. This imbalance means companies are passing along higher prices to shoppers without sales plunging. The cycle will break when supply is high and demand moderates. And then we also have companies continuing to raise prices. Now, some companies are price gouging, and price gouging is illegal, and you can report it. So, with that being said, the packaging and raw materials cost remains elevated, and further price increases will take place to offset those increases. It is inevitable. If the supply chain is broken and it's costing more to ship items across the country, these companies are just going to pass the cost over to the consumer. Okay? General Mills, which makes everything from Cheerios to Blue Buffalo pet food, expects that the cost will increase by 14 to 15% for its 2023 fiscal year. Led by a rise in prices of ingredients such as nuts, fruit, and flavors, the company is planning additional price hikes for its retail customers. For now, consumers have been balked at the high prices. So far, we haven't really seen any change in elasticities. Elasticity refers to how easily customers change their shopping behavior in response to higher prices. Some people are putting back brand and choosing generic because it's $1 cheaper. consumers accepted the higher prices more than General Mills would have expected. And they know this based on sales. Between costs continuing to rise and people continuing to buy, there's little reason for companies to discount their products. And I mean, it's true. You got to eat, so you're going to pay the price. You know, we think the risk of promotions ramping up significantly over the next couple of quarters is quite low. So manufacturers increase promotions during the supply chain disruptions would have to end, and costs would have to fall significantly. And we don't see any of those things. Prices tend to go up over time. Grocery prices dropped only during 2 years, and every year they went up. Though some years the increase was very slight. Typically, grocery prices go up 2 to 3% a year. But we're heading to hyperinflation. So you're seeing increases as much as 100% to 300% if you're paying attention. In the past, consumers may not have noticed higher prices because their wages kept pace with the increase. Right now, that's not the case. Consumer prices are increasing faster than wages are increasing. And that's why we're now is really a cost of living crisis. Grocery prices in particular are sticky because of how much of a hassle it is to change them. Retailers also don't like to raise prices little by little because it frustrates customers. And a lot of people shop every week. And there's a lot of consistency in what they buy. So when prices change even slightly, they really notice that. Don't forget to head over to our website, financialsavvychick.com, and check out our blogs. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you.